Gervonta Tank Davis. Let Shakur Stevenson. Devin Haney know y'all ain't built like that, bro. Shakur Stevenson team, Eddie Hearn, Jay Prince, they both gave interviews. One to Fight Hub, one to Fight Hype, and they talked about Tank Davis versus Shakur Stevenson. I want to talk about that in this video. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video. We live Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday night at 7:30. We also live Sunday mornings with KQKC Boxing Network at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Let's get it cracking. So, Gervonta Davis, Shakur Stevenson. It's the fight in the lightweight division that we want on this channel more than any fight. And Shakur Stevenson's fight with Floyd Schofield is coming up February 22nd. Keyshawn Davis is fighting February 14th, tomorrow. It's going down. Can't wait to watch that fight. And Eddie Hearn is making his press runs, and so is Jay Prince making their press runs. And obviously, you're not going to interview no member of Shakur Stevenson's team without asking them about Tank Davis, because Tank Davis is the name, and that's the fight that we all want to see. Eddie Hearn, and I'm paraphrasing, he said Tank and Shakur is the biggest fight in boxing. 100% that fight should happen in 2025. That Shakur is fighting Schofield. He's supposed to do Zepeda next, and then we want Tank Davis in 2025. That's his 2025 he wants for Shakur. Going right along with the plans that Turkey Al-Sheikh set out. Then you got Jay Prince. He's saying that Tank and Shakur absolutely can happen. If we get the offer, we'll be ready. Anything is possible. Yada, yada, yada. It's a boxer versus a puncher. And we'll be ready. And Shakur come out victorious. I want to talk about what they said. Number one, Jay Prince manages a lot of boxers, and you would think he would know more about boxing than to simply say Tank Davis versus Shakur Stevenson is a boxer versus a puncher. Might want to listen to Shakur Stevenson, because Shakur Stevenson will tell you that Tank Davis is one of the most skilled fighters in boxing. So to call Tank Davis simply a puncher is just crazy to me, bro. And a lot of people make this mistake with Tank. And I keep trying to educate y'all and get y'all to see what the hell going on before the shit too late, bro. I really do. I be trying to do y'all a service to let you know what's going on before shit is too late. Tank Davis's punching power is not his greatest attribute. It just accentuates everything else that he does great. A high ring IQ to set you up. Except for when he sets you up, you end up going to sleep. Fast hands to be able to get to the shit quick. The difference is when those fast hands get to you, the power accentuates it because it knocks you the fuck out. Fast feet to close the distance to get those hands off. And great foot placement and great balance. He uses that to get into position. The difference is when he gets into position, it's accentuated with the power, bro. Counterpunching ability and timing to get your, and ring IQ to get your rhythm, to see what you're trying to do, and then have the ability to time you and counter you. The difference is that when he times you and he sees what you're doing and then he counter you, it's accentuated with the power because it knocks you the fuck out. The power is only gets to be shown because of everything else he does great before that. Hope that makes sense to you. If you're a diehard boxing analyst like myself, you understand exactly what I'm saying. So that was a huge mistake in a comment by Jay Prince. Now, Eddie Hearn. When I hear Eddie Hearn talk, I can't help but ask, were we lied to when it comes to the contract details of Shakur Stevenson? Were we lied to when it comes to Eddie Hearn wanting to step aside in order for Tank and Shakur to happen? Were we lied to? Because I am going to stand on the fact that they told us this was a 2-fight deal for Shakur to fight 2 fights under Matchroom. He got the Schofield fight, and then he got the Zepeda fight. Eddie should be trying to re-sign Shakur. He should be like, yeah, we got the 2 fights with Shakur. We're trying to re-sign him because we're happy to have him as part of the Matchroom family, and we want to continue to move his career forward. That's what you would think he would be saying if he really only signed for 2 fights. But when I hear Eddie Hearn talk, he's talking about Shakur's career beyond the 2 fights. So I can't help but ask, did they lie to us? Did Shakur sign some long-term deal and they just didn't want to tell nobody? Because you know a long-term deal makes it look bad when you a free agent and you go sign a long-term deal, but you said you was looking to sign on a fight-by-fight basis so you can make the biggest and the best fights happen, but then you go sign a long-term deal over the Matchroom with Eddie Hearn so you can tie yourself to Eddie Hearn and Turkey Al-Sheikh for Lord knows how long. These are the things that come to my mind, like why is Eddie talking about Schofield, then Zepeda, then they looking for Shakur and Tank in 2025, but I thought Shakur only had 2 fights with you, Eddie. So I'd love for somebody to ask Eddie Hearn that question, or I'd love for a Shakur fan to try to explain that to me in the comment section. Eddie Hearn also said that Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis can happen next if Zepeda ducks, if Zepeda goes missing. I would love that. I would love that. I would love that fight next, bro. I would love that fight next. But based on what Eddie Hearn is sounding like and what he's saying, and based on what Turkey is saying, the Zepeda Shakur fight is already made. Zepeda versus Shakur is already made. So Zepeda would have to duck again, step aside, do something in order to make Tank versus Shakur happen next, which I would love. My question is, if you really want it next, why even sign to fight Zepeda in the first place? And that's my problem with Shakur Stevenson. His fans think I'm unfair to the young man, but all of these things that have to happen in order for the fight to happen now are things that have to happen because Shakur put them in the way. Oh, why can't Tank and Shakur just fight? Turkey trying to make the fight. Well, the reason that Turkey feels emboldened to try to make the fight is because when Tank's team tried to make the fight directly with Shakur, Shakur went under the one of Turkey's promoters. Oh, Tank and Shakur can happen next if Zepeda step aside. Why they can't just pay Zepeda step aside for Tank and Shakur to happen next? Well, the only reason we got to talk about Zepeda stepping aside or Zepeda moving around or Zepeda not happening and Tank making Shakur an offer and dealing with some shit for Zepeda to step aside, the only reason we have to talk about that is because Shakur went over there to Matchroom trying to fight Zepeda in the first place. And I'm not saying Zepeda is a bad fight. What I'm saying is that it's clear to me that Shakur had other priorities outside of chasing down the Gervonta Tank Davis fight. Which is why you hear him say stuff like, I'm not just going to stay inactive. He need me just as much as I need him. You say shit like that, bro. When you really like, I want the shit. I want you to think I want the shit, but I'm not really prioritizing it like that. These fighters and these promoters seem to want Tank Davis to prioritize them while he's the money for them. Miss me with the Turkey shit, bro. Whatever Turkey is paying Shakur to fight Schofield and Zepeda, Shakur can make more fighting Tank Davis combined. He'll make more fighting Tank Davis than those 2 fighters combined if that pay-per-view do the numbers that we all expect it to do. We expect it to be a huge fucking fight. That's what Tank brings to the table, so he should be the priority for Shakur. But Shakur went and put hurdles in the way, and now those hurdles is acting like they not gonna move out the way. Why is Eddie Hearn talking about Tank versus Shakur if Shakur instructed him not to make the Tank Davis fight because he didn't want Eddie to get in the way and he knew Tank didn't want to deal with Eddie. But now Eddie ain't talking like that no more. These are the things I can't help but bring to your attention. It's things that contradict themselves and don't make sense. Shakur Stevenson fans told me that the reason he told Eddie Hearn not to try to make the Tank fight is because he was already working on the Tank fight itself and he knew that Eddie could mess up the fight because Tank don't fuck with Eddie. But so then my question is, why aren't Shakur fans telling Eddie shut the fuck up? You gonna fuck this fight up? Because Tank don't want to deal with you. Tank already tried to deal with Shakur directly. Why aren't y'all telling him that, bro? But whatever, that's y'all's business. The overall point of this video is Shakur's side is acting like they want the fight. And it's easy to do when you have fights lined up. You already know he's fighting Schofield. You already know you got the Zepeda fight done. So you keep saying, we want Tank Davis after these two fights. Why didn't Shakur want Tank Davis after he got done with Arda? Why didn't he why are we to believe that Tank is going to be a priority in the winter of 2025 when he wasn't a priority in the winter of 2024? Because in the winter of 2024, when Shakur could have went and did what it took to fight Tank Davis, he decided to sign up for multiple fights to Matchroom. What's so different now, bro? And why is Eddie now trying to be in the mix? Why is Turkey in the mix? Why did Shakur put all these people in the mix that makes the fight harder to make? Now you got to have cross-promotional conversations between Matchroom and Premier Boxing Champions. Now you got to have cross-network conversations between Prime and DAZN, which makes fights more complicated and more difficult to make. If you really want smoke with Tank, Shakur, why did you put these things in play? These things are in play because of Shakur. Shakur was absolutely scot-free. Scot-free with no promoter. All he had is Shakur Stevenson Promotions and his management team. He was scot-free. And now he put a monkey wrench in it to where now you got to have cross-promotional conversations. You got to have cross-network conversations. Why would you do that? Now I got to hear Eddie talk about how he wants the fight at the end in the wintertime. We got this fight, we got that fight, but the fight could happen next. If the fight happened next, now they got... Listen, bro, I'll end it with this. The fight can happen next, is what Eddie Hearn said. In order for the fight to happen next, they have to have cross-network negotiations, cross-platform negotiations, cross-promotional negotiations, get Zepeda to step aside with step-aside money, so that means you got to negotiate with Golden Boy too, and then negotiate the fight that the fighters agree to, and then boom, you get the fight. And it's all because of the decision that Shakur made as a free agent. When we could have just had Shakur team negotiate with Tank team and get the fight, with Shakur being a free agent. See how much more simpler that is? I hope that illustrates to you guys why I don't believe these people when they talk, bro. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Comment below, smash a like, subscribe to the channel. We'll catch y'all soon. Peace! Gervonta Tank Davis. Let Shakur Stevenson. Devin Haney know.